Before I get started with the story, shout out to Blackjack20 for sending it to me. Now, when I first came across this story, it said I looked at the picture and then I read the little subheading and everything like that, and then I was like, "Oh crap, this is crazy already just reading this." And then I read the person's name, and then I was like, "Oh, it's one of those type of stories." I mean, it's that type of story, but it's a plot twist. So they said that this person right here was arrested after drugging a man and leaving him unconscious outside of a hotel room. But this isn't the first time this person has done it. Now, here's the plot twist. The person in the picture is the one who was doing the drugging, but the person in the picture is not a woman. This is a transgendered trans woman, a trans woman whose real name is John Collins. I'm not even going to lie. When I first saw this picture, I'm not even going to lie. And I can't even fake the funk. I thought this was a woman until I saw the name. It said John Collins. I said, John Collins? What kind of a person would name their daughter John Collins? And then I read a little bit further and it said that this was a transgendered individual. So I would like to know from Hall T, are they going to talk about this? Because this is something that often does not get talked about the way that it should be. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. A transgendered woman, and this is coming out of Miami, by the way, was arrested this week on accusations that they drugged multiple men in South Florida and then stole their expensive watches. The incidents involving John Cecil Collins, age 29, allegedly occurred in both the city of Miami and Miami Beach. Collins' modus operandi was to approach men wearing expensive watches and offer them rides in rented luxury exotic cars that they were driving, Miami police officer Kiera Delva said in a news release. Most of the victims were around bars and nightclubs in the Brickell in downtown areas. When the victims entered the cars, they were offered a drink or drugs. When the victims consumed the drink or drugs, they would lose consciousness. The victims would wake up hours and notice that their watches were stolen. According to an arrest report regarding one of the incidents, Collins, who was from Miami, was sitting in a rented Maserati SUV and saw the victim leaving the Do Not Sit on the Furniture Lounge at 423 16th Street around 4 a.m. June 4th and asked him if he needed a ride. Police said the victim accepted the offer and told Collins that he was staying at a One Hotel South Beach on Collins Avenue. But the victim says he remembers very little of the trip and just recalls waking up at Mount Sinai Medical Center. According to the arrest report, surveillance video shows Collins pulling up to the front of a parking garage on the 100 block of 24th Street helping the victim, who was nearly unconscious, out of the SUV and then laying him down on the pavement in a parking space. A hotel worker saw what was happening and told Collins to call 911, but they left the scene. Police said the hotel worker then called 911 and Miami Beach Fire Rescue personnel transported the victim to the hospital. The victim told officers he believes Collins may have slipped something in his drink. Collins, who was located Wednesday driving a rented Porsche Panamera, was arrested on charges of grand theft, robbery by sudden snatching, and possession of cocaine. Police said Collins refused to make any statements to detectives. Miami police said there are more victims out there and are asking anyone who believes they have been targeted by Collins to come forward by authorities. What to say to this? Like, what could you possibly say to something like this? Luckily, all that happened was this person was just going after to take their watches, because they could have did something else. And I think y'all know exactly what that means. But I would highly suggest that if you are a victim of this person, that you definitely go get yourself checked out, because you never know what could have happened or how long you was intoxicated. Now, I will say this. This is exactly why you do not take rides with just any and everybody. You do not accept drinks from just any and everybody either. Because people out here have ulterior motives, like this person right here. Like, they did all of this just to steal people's watches. And that's why I said luckily all they took was some jewelry. But at the same time, you have to be extra careful because people are weird. This person is a freaking they're a sicko more than anything. And got a kick out of that, because they said that this isn't the first time they've done this. They said this has happened several times, or at least they believe it's happened several times. And yeah, like when someone does something like this isn't a one-off thing. In my opinion, it's not a one-off type of thing. Like, this is something they have continued to do constantly over and over and over again. So Yeah, and Hall T or the Academy as a whole, again, you can throw this on another notch on your month of some crazy wild-ish happening during that particular time period. Because I swear, it just seems like it just goes all downhill from here. And I know it's pretty much towards the end of your month anyway, but at the same time, it was like something came out every single week and none of it was actually good that made the news. And this is being one of them. Like, drugging somebody is a crime. No matter what you are doing it for, it is a crime at the end of the day. Y'all let me know what y'all think.